So new in 2019, this was announced a few weeks ago, NFHS and ACA are aligning their rules for high school. Bless up for that, because it's stressful to have to change things if you wanted to do one skill for one comp and not for another. So we had that last year, don't have that this year. Thank goodness, but also...
Yeah, so glad. That's so hard as a coach. I'm sorry, but that was like so frustrating to go from like to the kids, a state competition, which is like really big to them, to nationals, which is big to all of us, which is
ACA rules, USA Cheer rules, yeah.
So we truly had to like completely change skills.
But we didn't have to. We just wanted to do those skills. So that's why we can't complain to anyone about it. We just can complain and vent about it.
It was just stressful.
You know.
Yeah.
But one of the most interesting kind of changes to me specifically is the rule regarding signs. So previously the rule was when using signs, whether you're in a stunt or not, you have to set down the sign or release it gently, I believe the wording of the rules was, because they don't want people throwing signs. Signs can catch a breeze, they can catch a good throw like a boomerang, and they can go flying. Tanner, I believe you've almost lost an eyebrow or an eyelid.
definitely been a spot whenever a sign came flying through the air.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta realize that those kids aren't trying to make them catch air, and you know,
they're trying to be sharp.
Exactly.
They're trying to be efficient with their motion. So I understand.
To get rounded edges.
Rounded edges.
Maybe that's our only circular signs in general. Would that be funny?
My first year spotting at nationals, it was 2011 high school nationals, and I'm in the warm-up room, and a team they sure had round signs because they used symbols that they painted letters on, and the kids in the front would turn and hit the symbols together on the cheer beat. So it would say like the letters on the symbols, and then they'd be like,
that's the perfect cheer.
Boom! And it was.
Do that?
I don't know. I was just a spotter in the warm-up room, so I have no idea. But
that's the
imagine throwing one of those. That's a metal disc. What's the rule on signed material? That's just me.
You're gonna lose a head if you throw that. Like
Amputation?
I don't think they're gonna throw them.
Well, probably not.
Yeah,
but
they
if
were
there's
just
no
setting them
rule,
down.
you know, that's interesting.
I mean, I've been in the room when you're actually at a competition and a sign flew into the crowd and hit someone. So, I mean, that happened, I guess it was this past season it was our league event, right? Didn't the sign go flying off the back of the floor into the crowd? Pretty sure.
So,
I'm in my own world at those competitions.
League was really intense for us because we had all those last minute changes the night before. So we were just trying to keep everything.
But I remember that happened,
together.
Went into the crowd. So it's like,
that's right, because league was like super, like everybody was like
Yeah.
close
so I
around the
get
mask,
that there
that
needs
makes
to
sense.
be maybe some kind of
Yeah, so the rule previously about setting it down, dropping it gently, whatever, I was cool with that. It was, it was always kind of a bumpy ride figuring out what was
Where the
considered
line
a toss.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But now the rule is that a top person may not release the props to the ground. So if you're in a shoulder sit, shoulder stand, you're in a prep, you're in a lid, your sign cannot leave your hands. I don't know if that's necessarily a deduction or it's probably a safety deduction.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me because if you're in a shoulder sit, you're still a top person. Yes, you
I've
can still throw
I've already
it.
choreographed this at a work week
Uh-huh.
to
Yes.
show this rule, and nobody even noticed. I was so mad, but no, I had the tops. They go up with their signs, and they were in preps, and then they came down to shoulder sits, and they passed to their back spot. And their back spot was on the ground, so they were allowed to throw it down.
So-
Or the base grabbed it on the backless prep or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's for choreography purposes.
And it's
but-
not a big deal because you just mix it into choreo, just like how you have to plan to grab the signs because you can't necessarily tumble.
Yeah, but they just passed it down, and
all
it
around
was
the
in.
signs.
It was
Wasn't a big
actually
deal.
pretty clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Probably
they were able
cleaner.
to they were able to just hide it. They didn't have to worry about getting it back.
Absolutely.
And they grabbed it. They were on the ground, and then they were never in the air again.
I'm just glad it's in the
It's
rules.
doable. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
It's
yeah,
doable.
it's like the shoulder stand rule. You know what I mean? How okay, now you can't toss shoulders without a spot. Makes complete sense.
Yes.
But like,
Toss shoulders is so terrifying.
It is,
if you're,
exactly.
If you've ever got your heels
amateur
clipped,
to
yes.
intermediate
It's
stunter.
Anybody,
if you
I
have
will
a spot.
not- yeah.
Like doing toss shoulder stands is
If
never.
you're the spotter,
right.
That's
So
your
that
it's
too,
like-
that too for sure.
So I mean, nobody really complained when that
Yeah.
happened. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And
That
then
makes
now
sense.
they're all like, "All right, toss hands, walk." You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Yeah.
You already have to have one to do an A-firm anyway.
I'm just happy to hear that they're like in the rules now when we're all like prepping for a new season versus like last year. I know
Finding
we like
out right before.
last year
where the line
the-
was last year, because it wasn't as well defined.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like we were making fixes to our routine a week before because we were like, we don't want that extra
I mean, I
deduction
got called
because
on
the
that.
rule was.
I got called on the sign
Really?
deduction once. Yeah, it wasn't. It was.
We
you know,
didn't
I went and
college.
talked. I went and talked with the guy about it, and he told me, you know, what the rule was listed as, and we kind of just agreed to disagree at the end of the day, and I just had to take the penalty. And,
Wow.
Yeah,
Move on.
you agree
Scott's
with
been there.
competition, yeah.
yeah. So
That's how it works.
Yeah.
I guess anytime they release a rule or a rule tweak, it's always just funny to me because I'm like, what was the data that was used to determine this? Because like, oftentimes people will say, well, we make the change and then we go back and then we look at how safety improved. And so I'm like, so we're just in here just switching levers, hoping
find the right combination.
we find the right combo and cheer the safety improves. So it's always just interesting to me because
You ready for this? Who live is us? Who lit is this? Who real is us? We too legit. We are M-A-R.